Hi, my name is Scott, and I am a former stockbroker, options trader, and certified financial planner for a major investment company. But this was back during the internet boom and bust. I am no longer in the business, so please do not take anything I say as investment or financial advice. So I've been investing in the space since about 2017. But one thing I've noticed is that there are a lot of YouTubers or different commentary that talk about different tokens and prices, and they talk about we should sell it at this price and we should buy it at this price, or stop loss here. And so there's really no continuity between learning about that and being able to actually enter the trade. And so that's what I'm wanting to do today, is to show you on a couple of different examples from different YouTubers. The one I'm going to focus on today is from Sheldon, the sniper over at Crypto Banter. He and Rand do a great job over there, and have other great people as well. And so I'm really not going to go in. I want you to watch their video, and I'm going to put a link to it. But I really don't want to talk as much about the reasoning why they gave these certain levels or stop loss prices. I'm mainly today wanting to show you how to enter it. So my videos, I try to make them current so that this isn't old news you're getting, but things that you can act upon, now. So what I want to do is I want to use Arbitrum as an example. This was a chart that Sheldon showed yesterday. Basically, on this chart, what we're looking at is this is the current price. This is the trend line with regards to where the price is bounced off of over time. So we can see that it's in a downward trend, but that it's broken the trend. And so looking here at putting a entry order price here, putting our stop loss down below it here at this 95.51, and then we'll put in take profits at these different levels. So what you want to do is once you go into 3Commas, you want to go down to a smart trade, and this is the smart trade page. And then when you're on here, you're going to put in whatever exchange you're using. It's either going to be Coinbase or Kraken in this case, if you're in the US, most likely. Also know that this does not work on decentralized exchanges. This works on centralized exchanges. So I know with Uniswap, there's a way to do a liquidity provider and all these different things. But at this point, I'm just using centralized exchanges because it's pretty straightforward compared to a decentralized exchange. So what you'll do is, as I said, we're going to look on here, make sure we are on the correct pair using US dollars and Arbitrum, because we are looking at this particular chart here that Sheldon did. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and go down to the smart trade. Once you're down in smart trade, one of the things you want to look at is you want to do a market order or a limit. There's a lot of liquidity in this, and so I'm okay with doing a market order, but limit order can do as well if you want to have it at an exact price you're trying to get it to. You can do a trailing buy. We'll talk more about that later. But down here, what we're wanting to do is to put in what percent of the dollars that we have investable in this trade. And so not 50%, it's like $4,000. So, and that's just going to depend on what you want. So what we're doing is we're buying it at the market, which is about $1.04. Then we're going to set take profit. Now what this is going to do here is we can divide this up into 4 different targets. We can either have a take profit all at one level, or we can divide it up into 3 or 4, as long as this comes up to 100% after you have all of the levels put in there. So if we go back and look at this chart here, we see here's the buy price. Here they had it at $1, but it's moved up a little since then. But then what we're looking at is the take profit levels. And so we're looking here is where this support been before, or where there's resistance, like here there has been. So at this one level, it's $1.376. So let me come back over here, and I'm going to put on here, I'm going to click on the level at $1.376. It's going to be my first take profit, and that is a 32% increase. So I can split it. If I want to split it, I say, okay, I want to do 25% of it. I want to sell at that amount. And so I'll just leave it like that because I do think it's going to go much higher. Then I'm going to take profit. Then I'm coming back over here and I'm going to be looking at this $1.7352. So the second one we do 1.732 is the amount. That's about a 70% increase, quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and do 50% there. And then what I can do is I have to everything reach up to 100. If I really don't want to sell it and I want to hang on to it, I can just put a very high price on here, where I know it's not going to get filled. So, I can put $3 or something like that on there. So since I'm wanting to keep it and I'm not wanting to sell all out of it, then what I'll do is I'll just put, like I said, $3 on here. And that's going to be another 25%. That way I do have this 100% on here. Now, I can do a trailing take profit, but it's going to be on the last target only. And what the trailing take profit would mean if we did this, although it wouldn't make sense in this case because we have it set so high, but what we can do is we have a trailing take profit, and that means as long as this price goes up, as the take profit goes up, as long as it's within that 5%, it will keep going up with it. So it won't sell it too soon is basically what it's trying to do. But for now, we're just going to leave that off, okay? And so right now it's saying, of course, I've got my numbers hidden so you can't really see the dollar amount on it, but it's, saying it's a 90%, return on that. Anyway, so let me go in here. Let me put in the stop loss because this is one of the most important things we have to look at is we got to look at risk and we've got to manage risk. I know I'm bad about it too. It's hard a lot of times to manage your risk, your downside risk, but as we've seen over the last few weeks, it's brutal. Can be very brutal. I was selling it at $2 is where I sell an Arbitrum before, and so here we are at 90% off. So anyway, it's critical to have those stop losses in there. However, I do want to note that it's also a little bit important not to put it too close to your to where the levels are, because you can get down a wick, a candle, a flash crash or whatever you want to call it. And so if that happens, then you could automatically get stopped out when that's not really what you're wanting to do. I mean, your intent was more if it's going down and it's going to continue to keep going down, get me out of this thing, So what we'll do here, let's go ahead and put this in, and he's got it at 95.51, so we can go over here and we can just change it 195.51. Okay, that's about an 8% decrease from where we are now. However, what I can do is I can put in a stop loss timeout. We talked about this a little bit before on the other video, but what this is going to do is allow for a certain amount of time to pass before the stop loss would actually become active. And so, that helps with being able to, keep from getting stopped out when that's, it's just kind of a flash kind of situation. Now, I do want to point out that this is a market order, conditional market order, meaning that once it goes past this and this time has passed, it will become a market order and it will sell at that price. Now, if we did a condition limit order, and by the way, if you click on this link here and do more information, it gives a lot more details about that. But if we did do a condition limit order, then it's going to give the price that we're going to trigger it at, and then what the minimum amount is that we're willing to be able to sell it at. So if that doesn't happen or doesn't hit during that time frame, then it can just keep on going and it never sells out. The default on this is actually 300 and it's seconds, but it seems like there are, you can put it for a lot higher than that. I don't know what the maximum is, but I'm going to go ahead and put it 300, which will be 5 minutes. Now, the other thing too we can do here, just like we can set over here, we can do a trailing. We can do a trailing stop loss as well. We'll get in more of that later. Also move to break even. We'll talk about that later as well. For now, I'm just trying to keep it where it's not too complicated. So if we do that and I go ahead and say, all right, I want to create a trade. Let me look back over these numbers real quick. Okay, so there we are. I'm going to go ahead and create the trade, and what it'll do is it's saying And this is how much I'm buying. This is the price because it's at the market. I do have a conditional limit. It's a market order, I believe. Let me look at this here. Make sure. No, I didn't. I need to change it back to that. Okay, so conditional market order. That way, after 300 seconds passes, and if it's below that, then it will trigger the stop loss. And so I'm going to here. Let's see. Market. There it is. Okay, so first take profit is 32%, 69%. These are the amounts right here that we have it at. I always like to leave the last amount to let the token keep running, but we'll take and adjust that and look at that more later as the price moves up or if we get stopped out. So confirm that, and the trade is now been set up to execute. It hasn't, I don't think, made the trade yet, but it will here in a few minutes if it hasn't already. Okay, so we look down here on this. This is showing the take profit places. We can go ahead and say if it goes up, to a price we're willing to go ahead and take the profit with, we can go in here and sell it at market. That way, go ahead and close it and take the profit off of it at that point. Also, too, we could go in and set it up so that we could buy more if the if the market starts going down. But for now, like I said, I don't want to get too complicated because we get too many moving pieces. So this is what we got set up on that. And we'll be continuing to bring other videos showing different scenarios and how to enter the trades. I do hope you will like and subscribe so that you'll be notified when I release a new video. I appreciate your attention and your support. Thanks.